So hi everybody, welcome back. This is I have a lot of surround sound around. I hope you can hear me decently. You know, my videos are always with a little messed up audio file. So try survive it and let's keep on focusing on the models. You know, so this is the body that I recently produced in 1/24 scale. This was a test shot. You know, was the original test shot. As I said, it was a production, I think, from somebody making them in 2006. I don't know the origin. I bought that off eBay, and was quite pricey at the time, you know. So I decided I just get a couple of them. So I decided to make copies of this nice body. This features anyway the first edition of the Ferrari f430 GT2 car from 2006. So it's the very early car. The Studio 27 made the following version, that was a 2008 car that had a little widened fenders, but I am sure, because I get in touch with the company making them, both f430 and risi competizione, and they confirmed that the body panels on the f430 were not different from the challenge model. You know, this is basically very similar to this box you can get from Fujimi, that is meant to be the donor kit for this model. This was the ordinary challenge version. You can also make it like a racer. This was before the era of the GT3 arrived on the tracks. You know, this was the challenge car. It was a kind of street version converted into a racing one. You know, but there are slightly difference. You know, as you can see, all the front bumper was different. This was made in this way. It was basically the kit you can buy for the street version. Instead, in the racer, it was very different. This also featuring the two double holes for the Le Mans extra light for the night race. They had a NACA duct on the front bonnet, you know, and also the front bonnet was not made in aluminum, but it was made in carbon fiber on this car. And despite the fenders were still made, these fenders, the two front fender and the rear front fender, were still in aluminum, like all the 430 car was. As you can see, also the side mirrors were different. They were the production one. This had a different one, and mostly all the main difference are on the back of the car. You know, all the back part was completely different. The motor was tuned up. I think she reached around 600 horsepower. You know, it was a Le Mans spec car, this one. And also all the lines for the pipings and the exhaust were completely different. The ordinary F430 had them higher up here, like to exhaust and the mufflers, you know. Instead, the racer had much lower one, plus an extractor that I had to reproduce it there. So when I produced this model, this was a slightly idea to make something simple, you know, to make a very, very easy conversion, and that's why I want to build up a demo kit of this model, you know. I was lucky enough, because I made back in time, I think it was something like 2008 or 2009 back in time, you know. I made the blue car from Joe Macari, the Red Bull car, you know. Was an extremely nice build. My skill was not, you know, I think 15 years have passed from that build, so I hope that today my skills is a little better than back in time. And I started that, of course, from a Fujimi kit. You know, there was nothing around. It was just this company that announced them. And I just see the mock-up and the wheels. You know, they had excellent, very, very nice BBS sprocket wheels. Also, this car features the BBS. You see that sprocket one, but the correct one for the GT2 are those one. You see, this is coming exactly from the same original kit. I was able to get in touch with some fellows working for them, cooperating for the production of this kit. They never seen the light, you know, so I just held back the rim, the interior rim, which I placed the central mono lock, you know, for the main wheel. And also the size was exactly, I was thinking in the beginning they was looking a little too small, but then I made a test fit that I placed on my Facebook page. A little notice, you know, and probably many of you already noticed, my ordinary Facebook page with over 4,000 subscribers have been hacked, you know, and still I don't know for which fucking reason, honestly, you know. Now it's named like something like Bombas online shop. Don't no idea what these Bombas guys. I have absolutely no idea. My profile have not been hacked, and neither the admin one. So I absolutely have no idea how that could happen. Probably can be meta that just want to be paid, so the page is lost. So now you have to search it again on Facebook, and or just following the link you can find in YouTube on my page, and follow it back to the ordinary GT40 Model Works um, Facebook page. On that other hacked page, I see that probably they made probably a big mess, and I have really no clue and no idea how the stuff has happened. And anyway, you still have all my contacts, so my telephone number is still there, my email is still there, the contact for the website soldatino.com is still active, and you can use just that just to keep in contact to me. But all the news and the updates will place on this new Facebook page. That is, of course, the GT40 Model Works page. Just search for it or follow my link in Instagram and on YouTube. So back to the model. These were the original rims. I placed some picture of the test setup for the model. Consider that during this build I decided not to use this model because I have another project of it. They are mysteriously becoming quite pricey. I think I bought this model still off eBay or from a friend for something like 200, not 20 euros, something like that. So it was not expensive at all. That's why I meant back in time to make this conversion for that box, because it was quite cheap. Instead, I see them, I think it was a Japanese eBay that they reached nearly $200, that box, probably because of the royalties related to the Ferrari world. Back on my body, the body is quite thick. This was an experimental resin. Not so nice, I think, and not so easy to work like my ordinary one was, and probably it was meant for a producer that wanted to do a kind of die-cast or already built model, because the interior part is very, very thick. So for me it was much more easy to copy this type of model, despite as you well know, if you bought my previous body, I don't like it so much to work with extra thick bodies. There is a modification here that I applied, and I produced the body like they did. Probably this was a very, very early kit made in 2006, and it was meant to be like a presentation car. So they had probably left open at these two vents on these two parts, on these two panels, that are not present at all in the production car. Just one presentation car with the different Spocket BBS rims. The very, very early one had these openings, probably to vent something. I have no idea absolutely for what was that for. The front part and the front air intakes is different, is from that one. It is very different, it's quite different. And I reproduced them down there in resin. You will find in the kit. This is a very, very basic kit, and right now I sell for, I think, quite cheap price. It's 80 euros for a complete body plus the four wheels. Remember that you order usually for a plastic part and resin, you pay just the wheels something like 25 to $30. Just the wheels. Instead you have the complete body plus the vents here. All the rest must be taken from the donor Fujimi model. Just the one here, as I said. So I decided to work as a donor kit, and it was also that a little bit challenging, because the 430 had a period where she was less interesting car than what it is today, and so I took a die-cast model and simply fitted what it is the needing to make this model. I had to modify the engine bay. The engine bay is not so visible at the end. There is just a major window, a major frame on the back. Let me see if I can fix it up with the proper part. With the proper part down here. I was right now producing the internal roll cage of this model. I made simply wood pins there to fix this part inside, and there you go. There you go. So with the Ferrari headers on, and the final overall look, I will try to hold on. I will try to show you how it should look. Jesus Christ, these parts never glue completely. But you can see from the video, it's always complicated when I have to use just one hand for the stuff and for holding the camera. No way I made the image. Anyway, the overall look should be this. As you see, the final structure is this. There is a frame inside to the rear grille for the exhaust, where I place a reference line to build it up. The setup is very, very easy to do. And then you have a basic part of the interior. This is basically the part that you can see from the motor, from the external side. So the motor is this one, and over there will be I tried to make the fitting from the original part of the die cast, you know, of course it's much thicker than the originally. Never real mess, it is very easy to make the made during the making of the video, you know. It became something like that. Of course must be painted in black, so the frame became even smaller, so the photo etch set became even smaller, plus the final cable and wirings that you will see in all the models, you know. So that's it. I think I just miss still to find the proper combination from the front end, also because in the front lights there is nothing that can be showed, so I have to create the inner side from the two front racing lights, slightly different also this one from the ordinary production one. That holder is a referring hole that I left for the racing seat, so this one you will not find in the... No, I think the model of the Fujimi 430 features two of them actually, so you can use one of these racer. This was a racing copy that I made from a Tamiya, and I use it in my kit. I think it's also available from the website, also this one. And that's it. So let's see how it turns on in the end. I think it's very convincing, you know, and I'm just waiting for this fillered part to be dry and to keep a final sanding to all the body before the preparation of the painting, and I'll show you in a future second video about the final setup of the model, how it will look at the end. Like decal sheets, I will use that one that is an original Studio 27. You know, the Studio 27 made the same car, as I said, but just featuring the following version. So probably the decal are mistaken, because that is a Le Mans 2007. Instead, the following car was the enlarged one. So it was okay. They were extremely kind to give me one of their sheet from their box. They made this kit in 1/24 scale as a full conversion. No, as a full kit, I think, back in time. Now becoming quite rare, but you still can find around because there is less appeal, less interest in the real car than there was the hype, you know, in the beginning when they are done. You know, this is a typical vehicle, you know, followed by the 458 and 488, and now the 296. So this type of Berlinetta racing in the competition that became quite interesting. Last but not least, a little attention to the real spoiler. This is actually the Corvette from Revel that I used like a donor part for my Callaway C7R, still available online. I think I still have a couple of 2 or 3 bodies of her still available. So I reused the same because the car was from the same period, was a 2007 car, so the specs was the same, and this is exactly the same wing you can feature over there. There is 2 driving lines to fit it, and final fit should be this one. Here it is. So this is the final look of the wing mounted over this very beautiful. The line of the Ferrari 430 was absolutely exceptional. Was a wonderful car of nowadays, 15 years ago, so really from another era. So that's it. I hope you like this first video in English, and see you in the next one when the model will be complete. Thanks for watching.